Democratic Congress criticizes President Bola Tinubu's nomination of former INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu as an ambassador. On the foreign scene, death toll from flooding and landslides in Indonesia rises to 442. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Gboyega. Condolences have poured in following the death of the immediate past chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Osun State, Gboyega Famodun, at the age of 67. The Beleru royal family of Igbajo earlier, in a statement signed by Prince Adekunle Famodun on behalf of the family, said he passed away on Friday after a brief illness. The statement noted that during his reign, Famodun worked tirelessly to unite the people of Igbajo land, promoting peace, understanding, and progress. In a reaction, Osun State Governor Demise extended condolences to Famodun's family, the opposition party, and the people of Igbajo. In a statement by spokesperson Olawale Rasheed, the governor recalled the late politician's long years of association with the Adeleke family, describing him as a politician of note who contributed his own quota to the political development of Osun State. Similarly, the APC in Osun State described the news of the death of Famodun as shocking and unbelievable. In a statement by the state chairman of the APC, so-called Tajuddin Lawal, the party described the deceased as a kind-hearted father figure who was always available to contribute to the development of a state within the purview of his capability in all ramifications. Famodun was installed as monarch in 2022 at the twilight of the administration of Gboyega Allah, but was later removed through an executive order issued by Governor Adeleke, who appointed Oba Ademola Makinde in his place. However, in January 2025, an Osun State High Court reinstated Famodun, a decision that is being challenged on appeal. Still in Osun State, a former secretary to the state government joined the administration of Rauf Aregbesola, Moshood Adeotu, has formally withdrawn his membership of the Omoluabi Progressives. Alhaji Adeotu, who was an ally of Mr. Aregbesola before this latest decision, also served as deputy leader of the Omoluabi Progressives in Osun State. In a personally signed letter addressed to the group's chairman, Alhaji Adeotu said he was stepping away from the organization he helped to establish alongside other progressive-minded individuals across the state. He stated that his withdrawal covered both his membership and participation in all activities of the Omoluabi Progressives. Alhaji Adeotu described the decision as a difficult one, noting the personal and political investments he made in the group since its inception. According to reports, his resignation from the group may not be unconnected with his inability to secure the governorship ticket of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, as preparations intensify for the 2026 governorship election in Osun State. The Omoluabi Progressives is a bloc within the ADC in Osun State, and its leader is Mr. Aregbesola, who serves as the National Secretary of the ADC. In the meantime, a civil society coalition, the Osun Masterminds, has urged aspirants in the Osun 2026 governorship election to engage in issue-based campaigns that promote peace and electoral transparency in the state. In its November State of the State address, the Executive Director, Professor Wasiu Oyedokunale, said the group was joining the clarion call by political stakeholders in the state for a peaceful governorship election. He urged aspirants and their supporters to maintain civility, prioritize party unity, and engage in issue-based campaigns to ensure a peaceful and transparent electoral process. While addressing governance in Osun State, Professor Oyedokunale expressed concern that the Osun State government has neglected governance in pursuit of a re-election bid and condemned what he described as excessive politicking by state officials. He listed stalled recruitment of teachers and health workers, a facade road construction, leadership issues in the Amotekun Corps, and lack of welfare support as areas where the government had fallen short. On insecurity, Professor Oyedokunale commended President Bola Tinubu for declaring a state of emergency. However, urged the federal government and the National Assembly to expedite action on the establishment of state police. The Osun Masterminds urged security stakeholders to support the fight against banditry, kidnapping, and terrorism for a peaceful Nigeria. Moving on, the operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have dismantled the social media drug network responsible for the distribution of illicit substances packaged as imported Christmas cookies and snacks in the Lekki area of Lagos State. Disclosing these in a statement, NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi said two individuals suspected to be the masterminds behind the operation were arrested in Lagos. He said the drug syndicate run by the duo of Deji Adesoya and Olubi Majakodumi had imported consignments of Canadian loud and a variety of colorful designer sachets with pictures and labels of cookies and snacks printed on them and used to package the psychoactive substance in retail quantities. He added that following credible intelligence about the activities of a syndicate which operates and distributes through a WhatsApp platform, NDLEA operatives raided their apartment where a large quantity of the designer sachets and 5 kilograms of loud were recovered from them.
This beacon there, how many? Count this one. There, how many? 7.
Gunmen have attacked a church in Kogi State, kidnapping a pastor, his wife, and several other members. The attack on the newly established Cherubim and Seraphim Church in the Gboyega West local government area occurred during Sunday service. According to reports, the attack forced worshippers to run for safety as gunshots echoed through the area. Meanwhile, Kogi State government said it had intensified surveillance manhunt against the bandits who attacked the church. The state government, through the Commissioner for Information and Communication, Stefan, said security agencies were working to secure the release of the kidnapped victim. Staying with security, troops of 6th Brigade, Nigerian Army, have neutralized 4 armed militia members and recovered weapons during a rapid and coordinated response to renewed communal violence in Usmanu village, Karim Lamido local government area of Taraba State. The operation followed credible intelligence indicating a resurgence of long-standing land disputes between the Shomo and the Wokun communities. The dispute escalated into armed clashes, resulting in the destruction of property, including the burning of houses. In response, 6th Brigade immediately deployed forces to restore order and prevent further deterioration of the security situation. Disclosing this in a statement on Sunday, spokesman of the 6th Brigade, Lieutenant Umar Mohammed, said upon reaching the area, the troops came under fire from armed assailants emerging from the Fadama axis. A brief but fierce exchange ensued, during which the soldiers neutralized 4 of the attackers. Lieutenant Mohammed revealed that in a development that underscores the complexity of a conflict, 1 personnel of the Nigeria Police Force found operating alongside the armed militia was arrested. He is undergoing further investigation and profiling to determine his level of involvement. Meanwhile, leaders of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in the southern part of Kaduna State have pledged to work with security agencies to tackle insecurity in the zone. The leaders made the commitment at a meeting convened by Magban on Sunday in Kafanchan, headquarters of Jama'ah local government area. Speaking at the meeting, the Southern Kaduna Zonal Chairman of Magban, Alhaji Mato Yahaya, said it had become imperative for the group to seek solutions to the security challenges bedeviling the area. He urged participants to promote peaceful coexistence between Fulani herders and the other residents. In his remarks, the Kaduna State Magban Chairman, Alhaji Abdulhamid Al-Baraka, said the meeting was convened to gather input from local Fulani leaders and forward same to security agencies. He urged the leaders to expose criminal elements within their communities to avoid suspicion of collusion. The National Organizing Secretary of Magban, Alhaji Azan Chuga, said who else from the zone said the association was committed to ensuring that the relative peace being enjoyed in the area was not disrupted. In Kano State, troops of the Operation Mesa under the 3 Brigade Nigerian Army have rescued 7 persons abducted during a bandit attack on Yankamaye Sikingari village in Sanyawa local government area of the state. A statement by the Assistant Director of Army Public Relations, 3 Brigade Captain Babatunde Zubairu, said the incident occurred yesterday at about 11 p.m. Captain Zubairu said the troops received a distress call that a large number of bandits on foot had stormed the village, abducted 10 residents, and killed a 60-year-old woman. He said that a joint team of soldiers and police operatives swiftly mobilized to the scene and pursued the bandits along their withdrawal route towards Rimaye. The spokesman said the troops engaged the attackers with a high volume of fire and successfully rescued 7 of the abducted victims. Captain Zubairu noted that the bandits fled towards Kankia local government area in Katsina State, adding that efforts were ongoing to track their location. Staying with security, the Nigerian Air Force says its airstrikes has neutralized several terrorists across the northwest and northeast Nigeria. In a statement, Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ayman Ejodame, said the success followed an intelligence-driven interdiction. According to the statement, in Katsina State, NAF aircraft executed 2 coordinated strikes on 27th November 2025, adding that the first strike targeted a fortified base of a notorious terrorist kingpin linked to serial kidnappings, violent attacks, and livestock rustling across Kankara, Baskari, and Malumfashi local government areas. According to it, a second strike hit another major terrorist enclave in Damfako, Baskari local government area, destroying logistics hubs, structures, equipment, and operational infrastructure, just as several terrorists were neutralized, further degrading their networks and denying them safe havens across the northwest. In Borno State, ground troops repelled a coordinated multi-front ISWAP Boko Haram attack on Chibok, adding that NAF aircraft conducted 4 major strikes against regrouping insurgents along the escape route, inflicting significant losses. According to the statement, the operations underscore the Nigerian Air Force's unwavering commitment to precise surgical engagements. In other news, the Nigerian government has been urged to prioritize a functional and inclusive mortgage system to enable the country to close its widening housing gap. This was stated by the lead director of a real estate firm, Amorit International Limited, Kayode Oyewole. He identified unstable construction material cost and low purchasing power as major constraints affecting housing development nationwide. According to Mr. Oyewole, creating an accessible mortgage structure that accommodates low-income earners and informal workers would drastically ease such challenges.
Economic structure in the country is a little bit. It affects every structure and every base of economy, every base of life generally. But to the real estate, in particular, you know, the cost of materials is not stable. That's number one. And if you look at the environment, the purchasing capital, the per capita income of an average Nigerian will not be able to service that. But what I will encourage the government to do is to make sure we have what we call a mortgage system in place that can work, that can service not only both the formal and informal sector. If there's a good mortgage system in place, every gap, every every shortage we have in housing estate will be really mitigated, and there will be enough houses for everybody. Because part of the basic necessity of life is housing. So it's part of one of the goals of the UN, of the United Nations concerning individual. Apart from food, shelter, the next one is housing. When we're able to have an housing upon ourselves, we'll be able to do much. You understand? We're able to take a lot of things out and away from our life. And I know that if we can mitigate it and make the housing and the materials affordable, it will be better for each and every one of us. And we have.
The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has suspended their indefinite nationwide strike after reaching an agreement with the federal government. In a post shared on his ex-handle, NARD President Mohammed Sulaiman confirmed the suspension of a strike. Dr. Sulaiman said the suspension of industrial action follows a series of conciliatory meetings with the federal government and the signing of a memorandum of understanding that details the stage of a 19-point demand of the association. The NARD president listed outstanding issues to include the promotion arrears, within that compilation has not been completed by chief medical directors or medical directors. He added that the deadline for the payment of the promotion arrears is in 4 weeks. Julius Bokoru, Special Assistant on Media and Public Affairs to former Minister of State for Petroleum, Demise Silva, says the 4 aides and domestic workers of his principal remain in detention. Mr. Bokoru, in a statement today, said Giga Naga, the first to be arrested, was still being held. He identified the others as Musa Mohammed, Mr. Silva's driver, police officer Ayuba Ruben, and Friday Poor, an escort driver. The Abuja residence of a former Osun State governor and All Progressives Congress chieftain was raided months ago by operatives believed to be from military intelligence, during which some of his aides and relatives were arrested. Earlier in November, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission declared Mr. Silva wanted over an alleged $14.8 million fraud, even as he was recently linked to a rumored aborted military coup. Following the EFCC's declaration, Mr. Silva's media aide criticized the anti-graft agency for not officially inviting his principal before making the announcement. Mr. Silva himself has since written to the EFCC requesting a mutually agreed date to honor its invitation. Still to come, NAFON says at least 788,947 students have so far benefited from the student loan scheme. We'll bring you more on this when we return.